Hello, it is Dr. Askkrystalracquel, and I'm back again with a video for today. I hope you're doing amazingly. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, send me an email, askkrystalracquel@gmail.com, if you have a question that you'd like me to answer on video. The topic of discussion for today is, should a woman approach a man if she's interested in him for dating? Nowadays, people think differently about that topic. Women and men may advise you, sure, go ahead and approach a man. I'm here to tell you absolutely not. Don't ever do that. You may be wondering, well, how is he going to know that I'm interested in him if I don't approach him myself? But there's different ways. So one, first of all, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. So if a man is interested in you, he is more than likely going to approach you. Let's say he's interested in you, but he doesn't approach you. It may mean that he has someone else, and it would be in your best interest and his best interest not to approach someone when he's already with someone in a relationship or marriage. Those are the main things. And then, of course, if a man's interested in you and he's unable to approach you due to being shy or whatever the case may be, I'm here to tell you that's not the person for you, and you wouldn't really want a man who is so scared to approach you, because the man's role is to be the leader in the head. And of course, you can be gorgeous, beautiful, whatever the case may be. If a man sees you and he wants you, he's gonna put in the effort to do so to approach you. So don't use that as an excuse, like, oh, well, he might be scared, shy. No, okay? And it's okay if a man is shy, but he can't be too shy to the point where he can't approach you. And you may say, well, how else am I supposed to make my interest known? If I like a man, I should be able to go up to him and approach him. Okay, so if you see a man in passing, let's say you see him in your day-to-day life, you work and you both work together, or you see him around where you work and you're interested in him, don't ever put yourself out there. Don't ever try to show that you're interested in anybody as a woman. So if a man is interested in you, he's going to approach you. If you see him in passing, and let's say he comes up to you, you're not sure if he's interested in you or not, you're at work and you start to feel a vibe that he's into you, and you could be 100% incorrect. But that's what you're thinking and you're feeling, and it might even be you just hoping and wishing, and he might not even be doing anything that shows he's interested in you. Maybe he just has to work with you on a project. But if you're interested in him, there's not even any reason for you to really show any sign. Just be nice to him. Treat him as you would anyone else. You don't ever want it to come off like you are into him when he hasn't shown those signs. Being nice to him, friendly when he approaches you is good enough. If you're in an office and there's tons of people around, you have friends and things like that, you're not really friends with him, and you start going up to him, starting conversations, absolutely not. If that man is interested in you, he would have approached you. And what if you say, well, I don't think he's like noticed me or anything like that, so I want to make myself present, I want to make myself visible. One, work is not a place to do that. So if you just happen to pass by him, he might glance at you. That glance is enough. If he glances at you, then he can see whether or not he's interested from there, right? Like, there's no reason for you to go up in his face, start making yourself visible in terms of like in his space. No. You never know the situation of another person. You don't know if he's in a relationship or if he's dating someone. There's a scenario that I know of. There's someone that I know, and she, at work, she met someone and she was a little bit interested in him. And what ended up happening was, I think she spoke to someone else, is what she relayed to me. And she said that she told that person that they both knew that she was interested in him, and what should she do? The person said, oh, go ahead and just talk to him, start talking to him. So that other girl, she went forward and she started trying to talk to the guy. Like, I think maybe expressing that she was interested in him or something. And what ended up happening was that guy ended up talking to her, but then later on she found that he was already in a relationship or talking to someone else. So the fact that she approached, it seems like he probably just figured, okay, well, she approached me, so let's go from there. But sometimes what people will do, they'll already be in a relationship or maybe even married, and then they'll just entertain that other person. They try to like compare and see, well, maybe this person is interested, or maybe this person, it might be better than the person I'm with, but I'm already in a situation. Let me see. And as a lady, you never want to be in that situation. So that other guy, it seemed like he probably was attracted to her. He thought she was cute, but he wasn't going to approach her himself because he knew he already had someone. And by her, I guess, trying to get advice from their mutual friend or whoever, mutual coworker, that young lady ended up putting herself in a bad situation where now she, wanted to date this guy that was already dating someone else, and she had no idea. So it's really important just to make sure that you don't go ahead and do those things. If someone, I would say, there's already men that are approaching women when they're married and when they have someone. So you don't, as a lady, want to add to men who aren't good candidates for you. Meaning, there's already men out here who may be in a relationship or may have a wife going around approaching ladies when the men are not single. So you don't want to now put yourself in a space to where a man, he's in a situation, he already has a relationship or marriage, he is trying not to approach anybody, but then now you come up into his face and try to express that you're interested in him, and then now he's considering talking to you and you have no idea. So just cool it. If men, they can make their own decisions just like ladies can. If they're interested in you, let them approach. If you're interested in them, I would say if they haven't approached you, then that person is not for you. Because a man, if he's interested in a woman, I guarantee you he's going to approach her. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You don't have to try to force things. And if you're in a space where you're now thinking to yourself, well, what am I supposed to do? No one's approaching me, so that's why I've taken matters into my own hands. If you're in that space where you feel like you have to approach men, that tells me maybe there's something about you that is not attracting men. When you go out, make sure you're dressing yourself well, make sure you look good, make sure you're not going around with a stank face, meaning like you have an attitude or anything like that. Make sure you present yourself well. Your hair should be done. You shouldn't look unkempt. Make sure I say put on your makeup. I think, you look your best. Make sure you're washing your face. Make sure you are smelling good. Put on your nice perfumes. And people will approach you. And if someone is still not approaching you, it may have to do with something that's making it hard to tell your beauty. And what I'm talking about specifically is your weight. If you are extremely overweight, then it's possible that someone may not approach you, or obese. Or outside of that, let's just say because of let's say you've gained some weight and you're still fitting into the clothes that you used to wear. So you can be overweight, you can attract someone, but maybe that's the first step. Make sure that the clothes that you're wearing are still fitting you, are still your size. If you've done that and no one's still approaching, and then you may still need to work on the weight issue or the weight concern. So, there's times where ladies feel like they have to approach men and they get supposedly good results, but those results are not even good results because they don't end up marrying those men. Those men may end up getting a relationship with them for long term or short term, but it's not going to even lead to marriage possibly. Because listen, this is a good point. A lot of times men, they like to feel like they have one up on someone. I'm not saying all men, some men. So if there's a man, for some men it's going to turn them off if you approach them, but there's some men who may appreciate that you approach them or may like it, but they're always going to kind of have that one up on you and like be like, oh well, she approached me. Just like when we say like, no, ladies should not try to ask a man to marry them, because they're always going to have that one up on you. They're going to be like, oh well, you're the one that came up to me in the first place, right? I wasn't even interested in you like that. Or, you're the one who asked me to marry you. I wasn't even interested like that in you. You never want a man to have that to say against you or about you. So just make sure you're doing the right thing. Everything's going to open in God's timing. You don't have to rush things. You just prepare yourself and God is going to see you through. God is always on your side, but you have to make sure you're doing the right thing as well. Don't try to rush things. When you start rushing things, that's when you start opening the doors to people who are not even meant for you. People say, that's my Ishmael, meaning like that's the person that was not for me. I want a Boaz. If you want a Boaz from the Bible, then you're going to have to, it's okay to make yourself available. like Ruth did, but not where you're going up to that person, you're approaching them and you're trying to convince them of certain things, especially when you don't know them like that and they're of no relation to you. So just be mindful, be careful. You don't want to expose yourself to something that could be detrimental to your life, and that means, yes, relationships can be detrimental to your life by you forcing things, putting pressure on situations that can end up putting you in a situation that is not meant for you, that God didn't have for you. And God wants the best for you, so don't try to settle and force yourself on a man who has never expressed interest in you. A man is created to be a leader. If he wants to, you'll know it. If he wants to, he'll let you know. If he wants to be with you, he'll let you know. If he wants to pursue you, there's never going to be a question about that. I've spoken about it before, about how I went about the dating process as a Christian woman, and I never had to question whether or not my husband was interested in me. I never had to question about whether or not he was going to call me. I never had to question about whether or not he was going to take me on dates. I never had to question those sorts of things. I never had to question about if he loved me, if he wanted to be with me, if he wanted to move forward towards marriage. I never had to question whether or not he wanted to marry me. I don't know if I said it already, but I never had to question those things. So as a lady, when you find the one or when he finds you, you will definitely know it. So have a wonderful, blessed day. Let me know what you think below. Bye.